Welcome back to another episode of Not So Pro Packer Talk, where we talk all things Packers. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you leave a like on this video and make sure you subscribe before you leave. Now, to get into our topic of the day, we're talking about David Bakhtiari. Now, if you don't know who David Bakhtiari is, he is the starting left tackle of the Green Bay Packers. He has had an incredible career and been such an important part of our offense and why it has been successful all these years. He is a three-time Pro Bowler, a two-time first-team All-Pro, and a three-time second-team All-Pro. Dude has had so many accomplishments over his career, and he's been one of the best left tackles, in my opinion, the best left tackle over the past 3 or 4 years. Now, AJ thinks that the best left tackle is Trent Williams. He's like, oh, he's paid more, so that means he's better. AJ, that's a weak argument. David Bakhtiari, when they're both healthy, David Bakhtiari is the better left tackle, and he's not here to defend Trent Williams, so we're just going to go with that. David Bakhtiari, why are we talking about him today? Well, that's because over 18 months ago, David Bakhtiari tore his ACL, and he is still physically unable to play. 8 days ago, I think it was 8 days ago that the Packers placed Bakhtiari on the physically unable to play list, the PUP list, to start training camp. Everybody thought after all this time that David Bakhtiari would finally be healthy and that he could start this. He would be able to start training camp. We're really, really hopeful, but he's still in the physically unable to play list. Now, this might be because the Packers are trying to be careful with him, not trying to rush things just because he's such an important asset for the team, and we have so much money tied up in him that we need to be careful. So that may be the case, and we're just taking it slow. But it is very concerning that after all this time, he's not fully cleared to go to practice. So today we're going to be breaking down. We're going to go through the entire timeline through his injury, and we're going to be talking about what this means for the Green Bay Packers going forward. So to start off, the timetable. December 31st, 2020, Dave Bakhtiari goes down in practice, not even a game. He goes down in a practice, and now, after all this time, we know it wasn't just an ACL tear. It is a lot more. He tore part of his meniscus and some cartilage in his I think it's his left knee, if I'm correct. But yes, December 31st of 2020. That was a long time ago, and here we are in August. So that happened. He's out for that entire playoffs, and then the following year, 2021 season, we hoped him to play around mid-season last year. We found out around in the fall that he had another surgery to clean up the prior surgery that happened. So 2 surgeries, and we were hoping that he can come back late in the season of 2021, and he finally gets to play against the Lions, Week 18. All of the Green Bay nation's just going crazy, so excited for him to come back. He only plays 30 plays. Matt LaFleur says he's on a pitch count. He looked great in that game, to be honest. But he only played 30 plays, and it was very concerning after that. So we were hoping, we got a bye week going into the playoffs, and then we ended up playing the Niners. Okay, David Bakhtiari has to play. He had another 2 weeks to get healthy. He has to be fully able to play, right? He didn't play in that game, and that may have been a big reason why we lost against the Niners. Could have been the difference maker, but didn't play in the entire. He played for 30 snaps in the 2021 season, and that's it. Going into the offseason of this past year, we have just found out a few days ago that he had another surgery to further clean up that initial surgery. So I don't know. I don't remember if it was confirmed or not, if the initial surgery was botched or they just didn't do a good job. But he has now had 3 surgeries on this knee, which is very, very concerning. And yeah. So about a month ago, he was on Cheesehead TV, a big Packers network news breaking thing. They had a podcast with David Bakhtiari, and he talked more about his knee injury, where he revealed it wasn't just the a ACL tear, which I said earlier, but it was a meniscus tear, and he also tore some cartilage. But he says now, from what he said about a month ago on that Cheesehead TV episode, that right now his ACL, his knee is all intact. Like everything's fine now. Like there's no damage at all, really. But what's stopping him from playing right now is inflammation. Right now, his left knee constantly gets inflamed with fluids. For you guys who don't know about some medical stuff, which I didn't know about probably until like 30 minutes ago, I just did some research. But so your knee is only supposed to have about 1 ounce or 30 cc's of fluid in it. And when you have an injury to your knee, then that opens up room for extra fluid to get in there and cause it to get inflamed and for it to be very, very painful. Now, this is what's happening with David Bakhtiari. He's from what he has told us, he's had to have 96 cc's removed from his knee and another time 88 cc's removed from his knee. So constantly his left knee is getting inflamed with fluid. It's causing pain, and that's what I believe right now, and a lot of other people believe is the main reason that he's not on the field. It's just because there's a lot of pain in that left knee because of all the fluid that's accumulating in there. So what we think is every single time he goes to practice, there's more and more fluid comes in, it inflames his knee, and then he has to get it more and more removed. And so they've removed 96 cc's, and he's trying to stay at around like 30 cc's of fluid. So that's the current situation as we know it and we believe it right now of why David Bakhtiari is not able to get on the field. So right now, 8 days ago, he was placed on the PUP list. And just I think 3 days ago, he was seen on the practice field rehabbing that left knee. So there is a lot of hope that he can hopefully start this in week 1. Being on the PUP list in the training camp preseason time, you can get removed from that PUP list and be fully cleared to start week 1. But if he gets placed on the regular season PUP list, then he will have to wait until after week 4 to play. So the hope is to not have it on that PUP list. But at the end of the day, the Packers are going to be very, very careful with him and not try to push this injury and try and make a bigger injury. So week 1, will he be able to start? I don't know at this point. There's a lot of concern about him, and I believe that he could have played last year in the fall. And look at where we are now. We're in the summertime, about to go into the week 1, and he's still not on. He's still not with the rest of the team practicing. So that's the whole timetable of where David Bakhtiari first got his injury and where we are now. Now, what is this impact? What is the impact of this injury for the team? We probably have lost 2 Super Bowls potentially because of this injury. And I've never liked the argument, if we had this one person healthy, then 100% we would have won this game, or 100% we would have gone to the Super Bowl, or if this happened, this would happen. I've never liked those arguments. But it's very fair to say that if we had David Bakhtiari against the Buccaneers 2 years ago, that we could have possibly won that game. It's a very tight game. The Buccaneers defense was shredding our O-line, and having him healthy would have very much changed the outcome of the game. Would we have won? That's just that's me saying that, and Buccaneers fans would probably say, "Of course not, you wouldn't win." It's just opinions, really. And then against the Niners, very, very close game. Also, Niners won by a field goal to end the game. Would David Bakhtiari had an impact on the game? 100%. A person of that caliber playing in that game, especially with the Niners defense shredding our O-line, he would have had a huge impact. Would we have won 100%? I don't think so. But would the outcome have changed? I definitely think so. There would have been a lot of things different. I think we would have had a better chance of winning that game if David Bakhtiari was healthy. So what does this mean coming into this new season? if we do not have David Bakhtiari, I don't think we have a chance at the Super Bowl. Can we make the playoffs? Can we win a couple of games in the playoffs? Maybe. But as far as going to the Super Bowl or winning a Super Bowl, I don't think we can do it, unfortunately, without David Bakhtiari. He's that much of an impact on our team. And we are also having Jenkins coming off of who is our second best offensive lineman who can play anywhere on the offensive line. He's also coming off an ACL tear, which we think he's going to get hopefully come back week 5, week 6, hopefully from that tear. So that's our 2 best offensive linemen potentially missing the beginning of the season, and then the rest of our own line is just a bunch of young players who aren't horrible, but they're not exactly the best offensive linemen in the league. So we're going to look, if David Bakhtiari doesn't start week 1, we're going to look very, very bad in the beginning of the season, in my opinion, without David Bakhtiari and without Jenkins. Now, if they both come back healthy week 4, week 5, hopefully sooner, then this will be very, very good for us. And I think we can win a lot of games. We can be a Super Bowl contender. But I think at the beginning of the season, if these guys both don't play, then we are in big, big trouble. So that's the whole David Bakhtiari situation. Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts on it. As far as a lot of Packer fans that don't know anything are saying like, oh, we should cut him, oh, we should trade him. That's not smart. If we cut him right now, we save nothing in money. If we trade him, we're going to get nothing in return. Keeping him on the team is the best solution for this year and the following year. We have to ride out this injury, and we have to go. We had to believe in Bakhtiari. We'll be back in 100% one day and be a huge part of this offense. But let us know down in the comments what you think about this whole situation. Leave a like on this video, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys next time.